Welcome to everyone watching this video today. This video is the church community project Teasers, and today we're going to talk about BSL, and that is British Sign Language. So a sign language club where you can actually bring individuals in to learn the basics of sign language, which of course sign language is used for the hearing impaired community. So it allows the church to engage with those individuals that are sometimes marginalised or excluded from worship. Now, I have a slight vested interest. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born with a hearing impediment, and that affected the first few years of development in my life of speech and language. As a result, my mother at that period started to learn sign language as it was perceived that I may grow up hearing impaired. During that time, I had a couple of operations, the input of grommets, if that means anything to people, not Wallace and grommet, but grommets that go in the ear, and that allowed me to be able to hear through glue ear and other things, I believe, which then rectified themselves. And my mother and father did a very dangerous thing. They took me to a speech therapist, and although you can hear certain quirks and qualms with my speech, they then couldn't shut me up because obviously I started to speak and really find my voice and find myself in that. So it was out of necessity that my mother first started learning British Sign Language. I learnt the basics, and I used to go to what was called then the Deaf Club. I'm sure that would now be called the hearing impaired community, as society's changed its labels in some respects. But the deaf community, the hearing impaired community, would come together and they would cluster in an area in Birmingham, what they termed the Deaf Club, and it's now a large organisation that operates in the heart of Birmingham. And if you need any connections to that, do comment on the video or message me through the about section. We can signpost you to that hub of excellence. But my mum started going with me as a young child, and I picked up basic signs, and we used to have a little bit of a flair and a little bit of conversational BSL. My mum then took it on to nth and much further levels, just shy of becoming an interpreter of the deaf, and worked with hearing impaired students for a number of years up to retirement. The ripple effect of that was that she encountered and taught many people the basics of British Sign Language level 1, level 2 and upwards, and spurred an interest in my younger brother, who has since learned British Sign Language and now works with the hearing impaired community as well. So just from that initial basis of myself struggling, needing a speech therapist and having a hearing impediment that rectified itself, it spurred my mother to go into a chosen career and minister through British Sign Language. The knock-on effect of starting my brother off in his career in British Sign Language, or should I say his vocation, and now he is also ministering and working with that demographic group. But that group can often be excluded from the church. Hearing impaired individuals that I've met travel miles and miles and across borders just to get to church. So they're very much a population group that we neglect and we do not facilitate for. Many dioceses and churches across the land, the institution, look to employ and facilitate a deaf chaplain, a deaf vicar in a sense, to minister to these this population group, but that is sporadic and it's not the case across every single diocese. Some of these hearing impaired individuals fall through those cracks, and that is disgusting. Not disgusting of the institution, uh, resources are limited, but it's disgusting that those individuals are allowed to fall through the cracks like any population group that this online ministry channel would love to see exposed to the gospel of Jesus Christ. So, set up a British Sign Language club. If you need details of how to do so, or if there's a professional in your area that you can obviously hire and bring in, pay to set up a group, cluster those individuals round, and those individuals could pay individually a subscription that would cover the cost of bringing in the professional. You could then deliver British Sign Language, breaking down those barriers between those that can hear and those that can't, with very simple signing salutations that would be a welcoming into the church. Now, of course, with modern technology, if I'm saying it correctly, cochlear implants and the ability to lip read, many hearing impaired community members can actually engage and do far greater to lip read and to engage with the population. But often that population is closed off in the church and almost excludes. So it's all about breaking out and exposing the church, breaking forth, reaching those individuals, welcoming them with basic salutation, basic signs, taking that first step and making that effort, and then drawing them in. And of course, a British Sign Language class with hearing individuals, hearing impaired individuals, bringing them together. What a fellowship! All in order to bridge them into the church to receive the gospel message. Just another thought, just another project teaser. So do contact us in the About section if you'd like to know more, or investigate it, Google what you can do in your area, in your buildings, and facilitate it. God bless you all. Amen.